fights that's meant to happen happens. You know, I don't get all up into, you know, how it happened. It's the fact that it happened, you know, and it's a challenge for both of us. You know, a lot of people, they mad that I got the opportunity. They don't want to see me with the opportunity for their own personal reasons. You know, I'm coming from a smaller weight class that's faster and sharper. So if he get hit with a sharp punch that he don't see, he's definitely capable of getting hurt. He's not a machine. He's human just like me. He bleeds just like me, so.
Terence Crawford takes aim at Canelo Alvarez, claiming he can hurt him in their anticipated September showdown. However, Terence Crawford shared his excitement for Canelo Alvarez's upcoming fight against William Scull, hoping Canelo will succeed in becoming a two-time undisputed champion like himself. He also expressed hope that they can face each other in the ring this September.
I'm excited for Canelo's upcoming fight. I hope he be successful and becoming another two-time undisputed like myself in a way. And hopefully we can get that fight in September.
Moreover, Juan Manuel shared his thoughts on the fight, saying he doesn't like it because Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but boxing has weight classes for a reason. He acknowledged Crawford's skills in super lightweight, welterweight, and super welterweight, but questioned if moving up more divisions would be a good idea. He recalled Crawford's fight against Majimov, where he looked slower and lacked power. While he praised Crawford's defense and punching combinations, he believes the weight class isn't right for him.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for yeah. And Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Majimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions is, I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches. But I think the weight class is no good for him.
Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on the potential Crawford vs. Canelo fight, saying he's not very excited about it, but believes it will happen because of the massive money involved. Crawford would take the fight since it would be his biggest payday ever. As for Canelo, Garcia thinks he sees it as a fight where he won't get seriously hurt, even if he loses. With a potential payout of $80 to $100 million or more, Garcia believes Canelo will take the fight without hesitation.
I think they do the Crawford fight. I'm not very excited for it either, but I think they do it because so much money that's being poured out there, and Crawford obviously also would like to take that fight because he's gonna make the biggest paycheck ever. Canelo will see it like a fight that he's not gonna get hurt. Even if he were to lose that fight, he's not getting hurt.
Yeah.
But he is gonna collect 80, 100 million or whatever the he's gonna collect. It's a lot of money, so he'll take it.
However, Terence Crawford acknowledged Canelo Alvarez's greatness, praising his size, strength, timing, power, head movement, and counterpunching skills. He pointed out the uncertainty surrounding their matchup, as no one has seen him compete at 168 pounds. Crawford questioned whether he could take Canelo's punches, or if Canelo could outbox or overpower him.
We all know Canelo is great. We all know he's big. We all know he's strong. He got good timing. He got good punching power. He moves his head well. He's a good counter puncher. We all know all that things about Canelo, you know, but we never seen Terence Crawford at 168. So we don't know. We don't know if Terence Crawford can take his punching power. We don't know if Canelo going to be able to box, you know, toe for toe with Terence. We don't know if Canelo's going to be able to push him around, we think.
While many assume Canelo will have the advantage due to his experience in the weight class, Crawford emphasized that nothing is certain until they step into the ring. Despite the doubts, Crawford expressed excitement about the opportunity to face another all-time great. He sees the fight as a challenge, but remains confident and eager to prove himself. He believes it will be an exciting bout and made it clear that his goal is not just to compete, but to win.
We know Canelo's going to be able to walk him down because he's been in that weight class longer than Crawford. But in reality, we don't know. You know, that's why two fighters fight. You know, so I'm just excited to be in a position to have the opportunity to be in the ring with another all-time great, and it's going to be an exciting fight. And I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to winning.
On the other end, Sebastian Fondora backed Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing his comfort at 168 pounds, where he has already fought for undisputed. He acknowledged Terence Crawford's greatness and his ability to potentially make 168 naturally, but pointed out the significant gap between 147 and 168 pounds. Fondora suggested that Canelo's experience in the division gives him an advantage in their matchup.
I have Canelo. Canelo's more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter, and of course we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division. 147, 168, two different divisions.
Nonito Donaire also acknowledged Canelo Alvarez's strength and size advantage, but pointed out that Terence Crawford's movement, skills, and technique could give him the edge. He believes that if Crawford sticks to his game plan, uses his legs effectively, and avoids Canelo's power punches, he has a real chance of winning by decision.
You know, Canelo's a stronger guy, the bigger guy, but in the fight with a guy that moves around, and if Crawford uses his skills and his legs and his technique and just his ability, I think he can win. He can win the fight in decision, as long as he doesn't get hit with those big shots from Canelo.
However, Terence Crawford further emphasized that he doesn't need to knock out Canelo Alvarez to win. Instead, he just needs to outbox him. While he acknowledges that a knockout is possible, it's not his primary focus. He noted that Canelo, despite being a bigger fighter, has moved up in weight over time and has learned to evade heavy punches from slower opponents. However, Crawford believes his speed and sharpness, developed in lighter weight classes, could give him an advantage. If he lands a punch that Canelo doesn't see coming, he is confident that he can hurt him.
I don't gotta stop him. I just gotta beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. You know, being that these big guys are slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. You know, they might catch him with a hard shot, but he's able to roll and turn with it. You know, because he's coming from a smaller weight class that was faster, that was sharper. You know, I'm coming from a smaller weight class that's faster and sharper. So if he get hit with a sharp punch that he don't see, he's definitely capable of getting hurt.
At the same time, Crawford made it clear that he doesn't view Canelo as an unstoppable force. He respects his skills, but reminds everyone that Canelo is human and he bleeds just like any other fighter. Rather than chasing a knockout, Crawford intends to stick to his game plan, fight intelligently, and take full advantage of any opening that presents itself.
He's not a machine. He's human just like me. He bleeds just like me. So I'm not going in there thinking, oh, I can't hurt this guy. But I'm not going in there at the same time. I'm trying to knock him out. I'm trying to, you know, fight my fight, and if the knockout is there.
Moreover, Paul Kroll expressed his view that while Crawford might be able to land a body shot on Canelo, he doesn't realistically think Crawford can hurt him significantly. In his opinion, if Crawford wins, it would likely be by decision rather than by inflicting a damaging blow.
Can he hurt Canelo Alvarez?
I don't think nobody hurt Canelo. They got a chin now. He could probably hurt him to the body, you know what I mean? But I don't think, realistically, I don't think he's gonna hurt him. I just think he wins it. If he do win, it's a decision.
Keith Thurman described the matchup as a superstar-level event, calling it the biggest fight Crawford can make in his career, even comparable to iconic bouts like those of Mayweather or Pacquiao. He emphasized that while facing Canelo Alvarez is a huge challenge, it requires the right mix of athleticism and strategy to win. Thurman believes that despite Canelo's impressive track record, no fighter is truly unbeatable, and the fight will reveal if Crawford's skills can overcome the top dog.
Superstar boxing matchup, you know, it's almost like celebrity boxing, but within the world of boxing. You know what I mean? It's just the biggest fight that Crawford can make in his career. You know, it's his Floyd Mayweather, it's his Manny Pacquiao, you know. It's literally Canelo Alvarez. And you know, you can't hate on it. He did so many amazing things throughout 140, 147, moving up and going after the top dog here. It takes athleticism and strategy to beat Canelo. There's no such thing as an unbeatable fighter. He is beatable. It's just most people don't beat him, So,
however, Terence Crawford further stated that the fights destined to happen will happen, regardless of critics or envy from others. He emphasized that he doesn't dwell on the details of how these opportunities arise and sees each bout as a challenge for both fighters. For him, everything meant to happen in his career will eventually come to pass.
Man, listen, the fights that's meant to happen happens. I don't get all up into, how it happened. It's the fact that it happened, and it's a challenge for both of us. A lot of people, they mad that I got the opportunity. They don't want to see me with the opportunity for their own personal reasons. But like I said, everything that's meant for me to happen.
Moreover, Ronnie Shields stated that while questions linger about whether Crawford has enough power, it's not all about strength, but about strategy. He noted that although Canelo might try to press Crawford, Crawford's approach is to outmaneuver his opponent, much like Canelo once attempted with Floyd, only to be sidestepped with a few simple, well-timed moves. Shields predicted that Crawford would perfect this tactic against Canelo, which is why he gave a great shot in his analysis.
You think Crawford has the power to maybe keep Canelo honest and maybe
But you don't need power.
But I'm just saying, I guess the aspect is Canelo's going to want to press him, at some point.
Of course he want to press him.
But, Crawford likes to fight.
Okay, Canelo wanted to press Floyd too.
True.
He tried to. Floyd kept stepping around him. Kept looking for Floyd. Floyd was right there. And then would just make one or two simple moves. Canelo had to reset. Floyd never had to reset. Boom, 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 step around. Boom, 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 step around. That was it. Trust me, Crawford's going to look at that. He's going to perfect that. And that's why I gave him a great shot.
Abel Anez provided his perspective on the matchup, suggesting that while Canelo might take control of the fight, it likely won't be an overwhelming victory. He explained that although Crawford is a talented fighter, Canelo is a big man who is used to battling larger opponents. According to Anez, eventually Canelo will catch Crawford and punish him, ultimately hurting him in the process.
On that note, Abel, again, provided that does go ahead, Canelo Crawford, do you feel like it's not just going to be an emphatic victory from Canelo? Do you think that he'll stop Terence Crawford?
I think so. Yes. And it's not because Terence is not talented. Terence is a talented fighter. It's just that you're talking about a big man who's used to fighting those big guys. Eventually, he will catch Crawford. Eventually, he will and punish Crawford and hurt him.
Terence Crawford lastly stated that when he beats Canelo Alvarez, it will elevate him to the ranks of the top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in boxing history. He acknowledged that Canelo is among the all-time greats, and while he already views himself as an all-time great, winning this fight after moving up 3 weight classes would be a legendary achievement in the sport.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when. When I beat Canelo Alvarez, I think I'm going to be, top 3 pound for pound best fighters ever. I think Canelo is up there with the all-time greats too. I already look at myself as an all-time great.
Crawford sees the matchup as a unique opportunity to change the narrative that a great small fighter cannot defeat a great big fighter. By overcoming the size disadvantage and showcasing his exceptional skills against Canelo, he believes he can redefine expectations and cement his legacy as one of the most versatile and accomplished fighters in boxing history.
To move up essentially 3 weight classes, and dethrone soon to be undisputed 168 champion without even stepping foot in that weight class or the weight class below is like some Henry Armstrong stuff. It's gonna be amazing. Like they always say, you never see a great small guy beat a great big guy. and I want to change that narrative.
WWE superstar Big E shared his enthusiasm for a possible showdown between Terence "Bud" Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, saying it's a fight that would excite most boxing fans. He recognized that Canelo holds a size advantage, but wondered if the years of tough battles might begin to take a toll. Despite that, Big E made it known that he's backing Crawford all the way. If he had to make a call, he'd predict a decision win for Crawford, though he doesn't see him stopping Canelo inside the distance.
Can we get Bud and Canelo? Can we please get Bud Crawford and Canelo? I don't know if we're gonna see it, but man, I think that's what damn near all fight fans want to see.
Who do you have in that fight? Break it down.
I don't know, man. I can't root against Bud right now. You wonder if Canelo and the miles start to catch up. It's a great fight. Obviously, Canelo's the bigger man, but seeing Bud put some weight on, I won't root against Bud. Gun to my head, I'll go Bud Crawford.
Dang. So how do you see it going? Decision, knockout?
A decision. I don't think he'd finish Canelo, but I think we'd see a decision.
Terence Crawford's previous opponent, Israel Majimov, shared his thoughts on the potential fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that the outcome would depend on how the fight plays out. He believes that if the fight goes the full 12 rounds, Crawford's skill and strategy would give him the edge. However, if there is a knockout, he favors Canelo due to his power. Majimov acknowledged Crawford's intelligence, experience, and well-rounded skill set, which make him a difficult opponent for anyone in the ring.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience.
He's very experienced.
Sam Jones, a strong supporter of Terence Crawford, feels that size will be the biggest obstacle in a potential fight against Canelo Alvarez. While he admires Crawford's abilities, he believes Canelo's strength and durability will be overwhelming. Jones described Canelo as a compact, powerhouse fighter, not the tallest, but built with incredible muscle density. He stressed that Canelo's sheer physical presence would be the deciding factor, making it a tough challenge for Crawford to come out on top.
I prefer Crawford. Listen, I'm a big Terence Crawford fan, right? I think I love Terence Crawford, huge Crawford fan. I just think in this fight, he's just going to be too small in this fight. Like Canelo is massive. Like he's a unit. He's not tall in stature, but if you've been around Canelo, he's just a lump, isn't he, Canelo? He's a right lump, and I just think Canelo would be too big for him.
We haven't had a chance
Look to see Crawford win.
Kevin Cunningham believes Terence Crawford has the skill and ring IQ to overcome Canelo Alvarez, though he acknowledges it won't be an easy task. While he recognizes Canelo as one of the all-time greats, he sees Crawford as a unique talent capable of succeeding even at a higher weight class. Cunningham doesn't expect Crawford to dominate, but believes he's smart enough to exploit Canelo's weaknesses and find a way to win.
I think what you'll see with Terence is a boxer, but he's also going to try to beat up. He's going to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he's going to box, but he's going to get his respect too, and he's going to be smart about it. You know, so I think he can. I really think Terence can pull this off.
Additionally, Cunningham expects Crawford to mix technical precision with aggression, ensuring he earns Canelo's respect in the ring. He sees Crawford as a fighter who can strike the right balance between strategy and physicality, reinforcing his confidence that Crawford has what it takes to pull off the victory.
I think it's a very intriguing fight, two generational greats. You know, I think it's very difficult for Bud moving up that high in weight, but if anyone can do it, it might be him. You know, his movement and his IQ is second to none, but it's different when you're facing Canelo Alvarez up there, you know, not just at 168, but on the night, probably 180, 185. You know, it's going to be a big task.
Eddie Hearn called the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford a fascinating battle between two all-time greats. He admitted that moving up in weight would be a major test for Crawford, but highlighted his elite movement and ring IQ as factors that could help him succeed. However, Hearn stressed that while fighting Canelo at 168 pounds is tough enough, the real challenge comes on fight night when Canelo could weigh around 180 to 185 pounds, making the size gap even more significant for Crawford to overcome.
If the right thing is supposed to happen every once in a while in this freaking world, which it never does, I feel like Crawford is supposed to win this fight. It's just a favorite of boxing for the way he went about his career and the way Canelo went about his career.
Paulie Malignaggi felt that Crawford was destined to win this fight, suggesting that boxing itself seemed to favor him. He pointed out that Crawford's career path and the way he developed as a fighter positioned him better for success in this matchup compared to Canelo's journey. Dana White weighed in on the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, calling it a super fight between two elite fighters. When asked for a prediction, he admitted he wasn't sure who would win. However, he made it clear that if the fight happens, he'll likely be there to watch it live.
I don't know. I mean, these are two guys that have accomplished a lot. You know, it's one of what you would call a super fight. And I do super fights, so.
Who do you feel wins?
I don't know. I don't know.
Will you be at attendance? Will you be there?
Probably. More than likely.
Amir Khan pointed out that Crawford's size might not be enough to overcome Canelo Alvarez. He acknowledged Canelo's technical growth since their own fight and praised his performances against Bivol and Munguia. While some question whether Canelo is slowing down, Khan believes he is still a dominant fighter and a tough challenge for Crawford.
Size, bro, remember, like, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this, that, another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about this matchup? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check our other videos too.